What's poppin', people? It's Dante. I just wanted to share my favorite place to practice street photography in Philadelphia, and it's in the tunnels of City Hall. You know, as you can see through the LCD screen, as people enter this patch of light here, it's phenomenal, really. I mean, I feel as though these tunnels, they're like it's like a stage, right? Where people walk upon this stage, and the background is always consistent. You know, I'm always getting this consistent light and shadow play where the background can be crushed in the shadows. I can also include the light that's illuminated from the end of the tunnel in this composition if I want to. And there's just always traffic, there's just always energy, there's usually live music and performers, and there's just an abundance of ways that you can photograph in this same mundane place over and over again. And I just find it so nice when I can make these minimalist compositions of this boy carrying the newspaper and his medal. Looks like he's got a medal he won from a game. He's got a newspaper in his hand, and yeah, the background becomes aesthetically beautiful, crushed with that deep shadow area. But then there's also the texture from the bricks or the stone on the wall, and the way that you can photograph here, it's endless because tourists are always passing through here, and you kind of just blend in like one. Yeah, so the tourist technique is simple when you photograph in the tunnel. Essentially, if you know, just, I mean, think about it. When I'm photographing in here, I could be photographing anything, but obviously I'm photographing the people. And so when you hold the camera out, it's kind of like it almost looks as though you're making a video, or maybe even just photos of the tunnel itself. And because of that, it just becomes really easy. You know, I can look up, pan down, and just find an infinite amount of ways to photograph in the same place, where I can shoot vertically like so. And the great thing about using the Ricoh is the way in which you can orient the camera very simply, where I can use my middle finger on the shutter going from horizontal to vertical composition by simply flicking my wrist. And yeah, I think the point is, find places in your city that are ideal for street photography, and City Hall in my city, Philadelphia, is objectively the best place to practice street photography because of the conditions that I discussed, such as the light that's consistent year-round, the foot traffic, the energy, and the ability for you to photograph candidly without being noticed. I mean, you're probably noticed, but no one really cares because you appear to be a tourist. You know, there's always tourists flowing through here. And yeah, not to mention, it's just a beautiful building. You can make photographs of the architecture, which is awesome. You know, I think that this City Hall building just generally is worth exploring if you're in Philadelphia. And I highly suggest photographing within the tunnels if you're looking for a good place to start and orient yourself. Yeah, I'd say just start at City Hall. Not to mention the spaces are very open, and you know, these open spaces, these open tunnels, you know, these places provide a lot of space for foot traffic. And yeah, this is just a great thing for our street photography practice. Not to mention, you can photograph in different nuanced ways with the light. So if I photograph looking this way, I can get some silhouettes, as you can see in the photograph, you know, using the light coming towards me. You know, I can photograph with the light to my back. There's just an abundance of ways to photograph in the tunnels of City Hall. And yeah, I just wanted to highlight that, and yeah, just share the beauty of my city here, Philadelphia. Really, really amazing place to photograph. Look at the light right there even. You know, just the way that the light peers into the tunnel. You know, just looking at the light casted on the wall. I mean, that's sort of simple, you know, way I'm looking at the world, you know, just through light and shadow, is emphasized when photographing in the tunnel, and that's something I'm looking for. Therefore, yeah, I find this to be the best place for me to practice my street photography. Oh, and yeah, you get good light for self-portraits. Maybe I got it, maybe I didn't. Sometimes, yeah, I did. It's kind of fun too. It's like, yeah, why not photograph yourself as well? And utilize that light. Yeah. Ricoh GR3X, small JPEG file, high contrast black and white, cranked to the max, everything cranked. Yeah, it's Really simple workflow.